to the Green Mountain stage race. This is a criterium, the final day. So far, we've had a pretty wild and dynamic stage race. It's kind of a break race for me. I didn't do a lot of training into this, kind of winding back in after Toad and Boast, but you can see there's a little bunch up, and that is because it is a neutral start. It's a road race, and they did this weird neutral start situation at the beginning of the crit, and you've got a bunch of squirrely little road racers in this crit. We are on a go-kart course. It's a very narrow race course for a car, which is good for cycling because you get stuff like this. Unfortunately, you're like 8 wide the whole time through. But coming into this race, I am actually like within reach of the points jersey. There's this guy named Jack on Kelly Benefits. He got in the breakaway on the first road stage, and he swapped up a lot of the green points. The green jersey points, and I am going to be fighting against him. There's also like 2 other guys within range, one from Comp Edge. You can see Comp Edge here on the left, and I've got a few teammates, but none of them are super experienced as far as a crit lead out goes. You can see there's another sprint going on. There's a lot of sprints in this race. There's GC sprints and there's point sprints. So you've got Derek Joaquin on the left going for whatever they can do on ABC, and this whole race is just wide open enough and bunchy enough right there. Had a little run in with 2 Comp Edge guys, almost got sandwiched from both sides, and that was a little upsetting for me, so I kind of jumped back in and gave him a little piece of my mind, kind of asking for a little safer racing than that. And so we're continuing. I'm back on this guy's wheel. He's usually in a good spot, so I'm not going to be too harsh on him. And Comp Edge is going for points. They're a pretty good team. I've got some of my buddies on there. But I'm moving up here 10 minutes into the race. You will notice this is a super short race. It's like a 47-minute crit at the end of a stage race, which is insane, and there's just so many points. So it's a super dynamic race. And then you get Comp Edge leaning it out on the front. Joaquin right on his wheel. We've got point sprints coming up in no time, and I've got to get all of them pretty much. And then Jack from Kelly has got to get none. I got my teammate here, Josh Foley, mountain biker extraordinaire, and getting pretty damn good on the road too, giving me a good little lead out. Then Andrew Strohmeyer, cross national champ, killer on a cross bike, taking it up into the last few bends here. And I'm just trying to stay a little farther forward. This is a first point sprint, so I don't really know how guys are doing. I knew the one I went for the day before, I got pretty good points. Jack ended up taking it into the last corner. And, we come around. Comp Edge guy there, a pretty good spot. But I started kicking it. Jack, I think, unclipped. And I was able to take the first point sprint. So I get 6 more points. And I just kind of sat off the front for a few seconds just to see if I could get anywhere, which, wasn't going to happen. So, fell back through the pack. I was pretty tired after that first one. I kind of moved up really fast, and I went pretty hard for that sprint. So, I'm just going to chill until the next one, hoping to do the best I can in the final also, because that's where the most points are. You get 10 points for winning or something like that. And I'm trying to move back up. 20 minutes left in the race, so we're getting close to another point sprint. It is like every 4 or 5 laps, something like that. I think we're doing 20 laps, and let's say even less than 4 laps, you have the point sprints. So I've got to move up. I hop on, I think this guy's name is also Will Goodfellow. Comp Edge and Kelly both have some representation on the front here. My teammate Josh is on the left trying to come up and help me with these sprints, and just trying to get in good position as best as possible. Unfortunately, sometimes through these last few bends there's just like gaps that form, so I've got to really watch out for that. They were kicking like really early into these last few bends, even though it was a headwind into the finish, so was usually pretty comfortable like starting from a little farther back. I would have, I think, rather been on Josh's wheel here, but I wasn't like super particular to get up and in, although maybe I should have been, because right here we've got gaps forming. So now there's like a pretty good gap to Jack, who's like got a pretty decent situation going on there. So I've got to do a big kick and get around. I had a lot more speed than the rest of these guys. I just was kind of failing on the position part. And there I get third, so not great in terms of points there for me. So I've got some more work to do. There's one more point sprint, and then the finish has a point sprint too. So really got to make those count. Ooh, exciting part of this race. My new helmet. This is the Sena S1. It's a pretty sweet helmet. It has an intercom system in it. I wasn't using it at this race because they didn't allow us to use two-way radios, so I didn't want to get in trouble.
Hey, Jules.
What's up?
But they're very cool. Wind noise is excellent. Sena's a brand that's been doing stuff in motorcycles for a long time. They have these little bike pods that we've been using at cross practice to teach everybody and kind of communicate between the coaches. So they're pretty sweet, very comfortable, and I think it's a pretty good looking road helmet too. You can play music in it and everything. Back to the race. I'm gonna move up pretty hard here. Got my teammate Paul over there on the left, also a mountain biker. Got a lot of mountain bikers on this team this year. And I'm back on Jack's wheel. So got a few more laps, I believe, until we do another sprint. But I'm going to tuck in, save as much energy as I can. Really moving up late in this race just because it's so wide open. I'm not super afraid of getting boxed in, and feel pretty comfortable moving in this pack. But it does get pretty bunchy. So you'll see this little chicane here, guys, you just go on the grass. The shoulders are nice that you can kind of move out into that. I feel like, yeah, having wide open shoulders is pretty sweet as far as a race safety situation goes. No curbs or fences to hit, and there's not a lot of pedestrian risk at this course, so you can get away with not putting fencing up. But these sprints of note also have money attached to them, so I think there's a claimed $50 at each point sprint. This is back to the sprint, which we're doing right now, and there's a gap to these guys, so I gotta close it down in this last corner. I'm gonna hit it as hard as I can, and you can see, yeah, I just have a lot more speed coming around these corners, but I just didn't have the right positioning coming to that finish, so it got second, and that pretty much seals the deal on me getting second overall in the points, just because Jack nailed those last 2 points. I had maybe a 8-point gap, and I had to win those 3 and then beat him at the end in some fashion for the points to work out. So now I've just got to really beat him in the end. This is the last point sprint, though, and there's 6 minutes left to go in this race. So I'm just going to keep the pressure on, see if I can get away with something. I'm pretty far behind on GC, and yeah, that wasn't going to happen. So we had Legion Rider off the front here. Some guys were just attacking 2 minutes in from the finish, and we have Patrick Welch just like sent a bomb off the front. Oh, we got dudes diving that first corner. So Patrick Welch, I believe right now, is off the front of this race with a good little gap. I think with 2 laps to go, he just sent it, and dude's got the engine to make it happen. I'm pretty far back for being the last lap. This is like 20 riders back. At this point, I know I'm not really going to get points jerseys, so I really want to get the win. I know I've got more speed than most of the other guys in this race, aside from, let's say, Alfredo Rodriguez, who's a killer sprinter in crits, and it was wild to see him and the City Bikes guys at this race. City Bikes is actually in the lead, and you can see them up there with their full lead-out train, keeping the race fast. They've got a good lead-out train. They've got the yellow points jersey, or the yellow GC jersey, and they're keeping everything pretty lined out, keeping their guys safe. They've got dudes from Miami. They've been racing pretty hard all year, and they're super strong at this race. They were like a surprise contender for this race, but you can see everything's getting like real bunchy. A lot of guys that don't do a ton of crits, and so they're doing a lot of movements from side to side. I feel like I'm in an okay position. I know I've got a lot of speed coming into the end, but you can see up there we are catching Patrick Welch, so he's not going to make it. It was a pretty valiant effort to send it with that few laps to go, knowing how fast this course was. We just blitzed through these laps. 500 meters to go here, and it is fanned out. Gonna move up as much as I can. I really wanted to follow this guy, but I saw it close down, and that guy almost caused a little crash with Sam Boardman there. I hop on Sam Boardman's wheel. This guy's a killer. He knows what he's doing, and I was going to come around there, but I was like, man, maybe he's got a kick. He did not really kick as hard as I thought he was going to into that last corner, and he got shoved in. Real weird moment there, and then 39 almost took my bars out. Dude crashed over on the side, and it was just a hectic finish. So I lost all my momentum there and sprinted in for like 11th, which was pretty disappointing. Alfredo Rodriguez in first, Jacob Roy in second, and then Jack in the points in third for Kelly. So pretty cool race, and those guys killed it over on Kelly. Pretty fun last road race to end the road block of this season. We're switching actually to like a gravel mountain bike situation. Follow along for that. We're going to have some new exciting little partners to work with, and kicking it off with Monster Cross gravel. So that video should be out eventually. Thanks for watching. See ya.